It's 5 o'clock Mountain Time. That means it's time for Tom and Shane Business and Politics. And we're going to talk about Hunter Biden and Adam Schiff today. Tom Egelhoff, Bozeman, Montana, Shane Montalban, half man, half amazing. He's in Kamloops, Canada, and we're the Swiss Army knives of business and politics. Thanks for joining us today. And Shane, the Biden saga just keeps on going, doesn't it? Biden walks on taxes and gun charge. What's the story?
Well, it's this a dead ringer. It's better than two birds in a bush. It's better than I'll plead guilty but not admit I did anything wrong. It's the run of the gambit. As I said to you, they went betwixt and between the folds of the law and asked an AI lawyer computer, what can we? Well, distress, whatever. And, it's one of these situations after all these years, and clearly they knew about it, all of them, after these years. Even Durham could have said something in 20, because it goes back to 14, 15 when they first came out of the Ukraine with $5 million each, him and his dad.
Yeah. Well, of course, we're talking about Biden's taxes. His attorney apparently paid him off with a loan. Apparently, he's got a loan from, from Hunter. Nobody knows for sure what Hunter is doing for an income other than his paintings. Nobody's really reporting on how's Hunter make a living. He's paying his child support 20 grand a month or something like that, and I don't know where's the.
Well, when he settled this last week, he took a friend's jet, flew to I think Arkansas, and settled with his wife on the same day, and agreed to pay $5,000 a month in child care. So,
they got it down because I guess his painting income
that's only 60 grand a year.
I know. So, well, that's the thing. I don't see anybody. Why aren't the news people really going after where does this guy get his money? I mean, what's he do?
Because he's a Democrat and he's the son of the
I know the reason, but
I'm sorry. I thought maybe I thought you went dark for a moment there.
No, I know the media's in the tank for him, but geez, I don't know. But so anyway,
well, someone's getting paid somewhere to keep this quiet, or someone's been gagged, because they've tried to blow a whistle, or they've just been told not to step on this. There've been a lot of reporting this last week that the lawyers involved at the Department of Defense and the FBI were all told to stand down. You don't investigate the president or the president's son.
Yeah, well, apparently,
and I think they're going on that old Department of Justice claim, that a president can't be charged in office and taken to court.
Whatever.
The only thing the Constitution says is he can be
impeaching.
That's right.
Yeah, he can be impeached. Well, Hunter Biden paid a tax liability of over $1 million a year after he announced he was under investigation for defrauding the IRS, but he could still face additional charges in the wide-ranging federal probe. Doubtful that he'll do anything else, but I don't know.
Well, it's only on a year's probation, and then the gun charge goes away. But there's a couple of other people that have commented that one of the reasons the tax situation was looked at as not viable is because they kept putting it off. So guess what? It would run out of time.
Yeah.
And the basis for the government to go after him, the clock went dead.
Yeah. Nancy says Hunter Biden's a great example of why gun laws never work, and a sweetheart deal for a sweetheart. Unbelievable two-tier form of justice. So Linda thinks.
No question.
Yeah, so we're
all seeing it before our eyes. It's a very wicked reality, and no one's going to be able to have the same results. Even if they bring this up as a precedent, if lawyers use this as a precedent, in other cases
Mhm.
against, the right or
Yeah.
MAGA or Republicans or parents or whatever, they'll the courts just look at it and go, that has nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
actually, it has everything to do with this.
well, it does, and I know everybody's throwing out all kinds of other people who've gone to jail for taxes, and it's not. It's well, it's apples and oranges, really. It's not a fair comparison, I guess.
No, it isn't a fair comparison because he's the son of the president, so he gets a
Well,
free
well,
ride.
that's yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's one reason, but I don't know.
yeah,
They keep throwing up people like Wesley Snipes, whose attorney also went to jail,
yeah.
and some other people. But
Well, it's
uh,
accountant. It wasn't attorney, his
yeah,
accountant.
well, accountant, yeah. But Biden filed his taxes, so that's the big difference here. Willie Nelson and some of these other guys that they keep throwing up didn't file. Hunter filed, he just didn't pay, and so they don't put you in prison for not paying. They put you in prison for not filing. So as I said, his attorney loaned him the money, and he paid off the taxes. So that charge pretty well went away for all intents and purposes. So he's done with that one. Um, on the gun charge, that gets a little more. Well, it's also kind of bogus too, because between 2013 and 2017, the DOJ brought 35,000 prosecutions of gun charges. And of those, 26,717 were felony in possession. Only 614 over 4 years, Shane. 614 involved a charge for the unlawful shipment, transfer, receipt, or possession of a firearm by a drug addict. So 614 over 4 years. I'm surprised they even brought that charge against him, but they did.
Well, it's one of those things, about your law and the way it operates, and 60% of murder cases are pleaded out. Of the 40% that aren't pleaded out, and they're settled before, 30% are settled before the trial date, and of the 10% left, 6% are found innocent. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a very poor record of 4% basically for murder in your
Yeah.
country, basically, and that's going through the process of having money and lawyers to avoid prosecution.
Yeah. Well, the most typical misdemeanor for taxes was charged as a failure to file a tax return, but that's trivial to prove. Biden was charged with something even less serious, a failure to pay taxes, even though he did file a return. And the amount of his unpaid taxes, approximately 100,000 in 2017 and again in 2018, is typically dealt with as a civil matter with penalties and interest, not a federal criminal case. So.
Well, there you go. That's see. Well, how could this possibly be worse than it is?
Well, it could be.
Apparently not. Apparently not.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The fact that they, I guess, to save themselves, going after a sitting president's son, uh, uh, shines the light somewhere else. That we're doing our job. We went after the president's son. Equal justice under the law. Nobody gets a free pass. Not even the president's son. So Nancy says race baiter Al Sharpton owes millions of back taxes. Got off because he is black. Well, don't know, but I know there's
Well,
all kinds of people that got away with it. So
the difficult thing about all this, aside from what everybody has heard, read, seen, watched, including the videos on his computer, this goes back to 2014.
yeah,
So we're talking like this is like almost 10 years
mm-hmm.
that they have been investigating. Apparently not his father, but him, and have an immense amount of material that they've gone through, and no one seems capable of wanting to charge him with some kind of federal offense. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
wow, That's amazing. And yet, under the Patriot Act, you have people from January 6th. I got to bring it up.
Yeah.
They're still sitting in jail. Some in solitary confinement with no lawyers. Haven't seen their family. Haven't been able to talk to a lawyer. And the government's claiming, they're terrorists under the Patriot Act. So it's a big wide world out there, and American law is not the best.
It is not the best, that's for sure. So, well, before we move on to Adam Schiff and what's going on with him, we need to remind you to please subscribe. It won't hurt you. Nothing will happen to you. Hunter Biden won't come to your house or anything like that, So ring the notification bell. You'll always be notified when we have a podcast. So, doesn't matter what time zone you're in, they'll let you know. And like us, leave a comment, let us know the types of things you would like for us to cover on these podcasts. So Adam Schiff, Shane, the Schiff Show continues, of course.
Well, his legacy isn't going to be very important, I don't think, even though they censured him on the floor of the House. But one thing's for sure, his legacy will be the reference of it's a pile of Adam Schiff. Yeah. So when politicians from now till the end of your republic talk about politicians that lie or make up things, they'll reference the pile of Adam Schiff dropped in the House and committees and on the steps of your Capitol. So to me, that's a funny one you could possibly have in this case.
Well, he, being censured, sort of like being sent to the principal's office or the, guidance counselor or something like that. It's nothing serious. They claim it's the second most serious thing that can happen to you as a senator, other than just being thrown out of the Senate. He didn't lose any appointments to any committees or anything like that. I think that would have been a suitable thing to kick him off the Intelligence Committee, because he damaged that committee with his falsehoods and his Trump derangement syndrome going wild. So I would kick him out of there. I don't know if that goes with censure or not, but I know people have been removed from committees before. So I think that would have been appropriate.
Yeah, it was 216 to 210. There were 6 present votes, meaning they were present, but they didn't vote.
Yeah.
So it did pass, but it's just one of these things that it's the process. It's all that they can do. But as small and as tiny as it is, someone has finally been held accountable. It may not be important. It may not matter. It may only be a day. But if this is how your government is going to operate, with bribery and lies and deceit and misrepresentations and collusion, fraud. I mean, the whole list of federal offenses that were committed in the last 8 years because of Trump coming down an escalator and a congressman gets censored. Well, that's pretty sad that that's the only thing that someone is accountable for.
Well, even that wouldn't have happened if it were not for the Durham report, which completely exonerated Trump in virtually every way. There was no Russian collusion of any kind that, the Durham report pretty well covered that in detail. And I was impressed that Durham embarrassed Schiff when he was talking about, do you believe everything that comes in from the outside? And of course, Schiff took that call from the Russians. Yeah. They had stuff on Trump and, we'll meet with you. We'll get your contact information and we'll be there to get all the dope. And for the other Democrats to stand there and applaud him and pat him on the back and everything, knowing full well that everything he said was bogus. There was no whistleblower. There's nobody he was going to call in that was going to give confirming proof of Trump and the Russians
or documents.
Or documents. That never happened. And for the rest of them to stand there and support this guy, is an embarrassment to the country. I think that everybody, I mean, that's been proven beyond a reasonable doubt to anyone that Schiff was way off the rails with this.
Well, in geology, there's a metamorphic rock that sparkles, and you see silver and gold in it, but you can't extract it in any profound way to be of any use. So they dubbed it fool's gold. It would attract people, of course, miners, that were looking for gold or silver. And this is what this is. It's fool's gold. Schiff is nothing but a foolish, ignorant person that lies to his constituents, and they continue to vote for him. Now says he wants to run for Senate in California, and is saying that he's entitled to it and he earned it, and denies having done anything wrong. They completely denied it this week on TV. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is that Pelosi wants Feinstein out because she wants Adam Schiff in that Senate position. And if Feinstein goes away, then Gavin Newsom likes Barbara Lee, the black congressman from California, to replace her. So that'll be kind of interesting to see. And I'm sure Gavin Newsom would appoint her because that gives him points if he decides to run in the presidential election of 24.
Well, I'll be interested if he even runs for his congressional seat again, and that the people of California and his constituency elect him.
They'll elect him. I mean,
they probably will, but I'm just saying it's pretty sad.
Oh yeah, well it is sad. Well, the same people that are clapping for him and patting him on the back in the well of the Senate and supporting him are the same people that are going to vote for him in California.
Well, there you go. I guess all those people slapping him on the back were all from California, but they're senators from other states.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that possible?
Yeah. Schiff is worried if Feinstein out, Newsom wants a minority black woman. Yeah, he wants Barbara Lee in there. So we'll see how that plays out. And I don't know. Newsom sure acts like he wants to get in the race, Shane. He hasn't declared yet, but he's sure showing up in a lot of places, doing town halls and interviews and everything else that he hasn't done before. So even going on Hannity to get some. Well,
he's trying to set him. He's trying to set himself up as the guy they call in. Because it can't be your president that's sitting or the vice president that's sitting.
No,
and it can't be Kennedy. We've both now agreed after dealing with his history and looking into it.
Yeah, they're not going to let him anywhere near the Oval Office. Yeah.
So the bench is so shallow. Who else? Newsom? I don't know what other Whitner or something from Michigan.
Well, Gretchen Whitmer from Michigan would be a possibility if they want to run. If they want to try to run a woman against Trump, that would be. That failed pretty badly the last time they tried it.
I mean, the Hilton heir, who's governor of Illinois, I mean, he's worse than the rest of them. I mean, the guy's wealthy and he's still a crook. I mean,
well, he's in Illinois. What do you expect?
But that's the point is they're not going to pick someone like that. And there's so few other governors that are really recognized or known to anyone in the country. It's like, is there a senator you could think of? I can't even think of a senator.
Yeah, Swalwell's available.
Well, I don't think that looks good on a lawn sign.
Yeah. Hey, I've got ties to China.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll take care of you.
Yeah. It's that triangle, that deep dark triangle. It'll catch you every time.
Well, AOC will be old enough to run.
Well, that would be heartful. I mean, my goodness, if she gave up for a congressional seat, I'm sure the governor or senator of New York would want to run for that seat instead. That's how popular that seat is.
They'll put Cuomo in there.
That's right.
Put him back.
The fill-in. Yeah. It's like going to the dentist.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll give you a silver filling, or would you like gold?
Yeah. Right.
No, I'm a modern guy. I want a ceramic filling. I don't want anyone to see it. Just
that's right.
Try and get it the same color as my teeth. Okay.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Well, I don't know, man. This is going to be a fun 15 months before this election. I hope we can keep doing this for all the time that's going on here.
You're calling, man. Your show you produced. If it weren't for you, we'd have very little to nothing at all.
Yeah. Well, we need to remind you of a couple things before we bail out of here. The first thing we got to remind you is that we're on radio every Saturday from 8 to 11 Mountain Time, 3 hours of limited commercial interruption, I might add. Click to listen now at kmmsam.com. Don't forget the AM, kmmsam.com. Click listen now. No sign up needed, nothing to join, no personal information of any kind. You can call us, you can text the show. You can email us, whatever. And if you want to get an idea of what our shows are like, all our past shows are also at kmmsam.com. All you got to do is click on Tom and Shane's podcast, and you'll be taken over to both our video and our 3-hour radio shows as well. And
that's right. We're on the back end of heading to 900 shows. So
yeah,
well done. There, you're a BFF there, you man.
That's it. Over 12,000 downloads of our shows. Thank you very much for all of that. We really appreciate that very much. So yeah, we hope that you'll join us both here and there. And if you're watching us on YouTube, by all means, hit that subscribe button because we really appreciate that. And, that's how we move up the ladder and get more people to watch us, the more subscribers we have. So we hope if you haven't subscribed, do it. Nothing will happen to you. You don't get any emails. You don't get anything from us. All you do is get some great content like this. So there you are.
So my final thought is it's very distressful to see that the Demolition Party is continuing its efforts to destroy your country, take it down, Civil War, racism, lunacy in cities, the urban collapse of your country. Well, Trump is trying to tell everyone this is what's going on, and the Republican Party is trying to say, why are you voting for these people? All we can do is watch, like you say, for the next 15 months and see how the party ends, because it's going to be one hell of a hangover.
It certainly will be. And Congress, they're still battling over this student loan deal. We've got all the states going hard on abortion. Wisconsin just decided if you were 12 years old, you can leave your parents if you think you're transgender, and they can't do a damn thing about it. So what?
And I couldn't believe Pence blew it for himself this week. Pence came out this week in one of his stops and said that he backs that idiot Republican senator from the Carolinas that suggested that the Republicans taking over the Senate, they would draw up legislation on abortion federally. And it's you called it. I mean, it's a terrible, terrible thing to bring up. There's too many other things.
Yeah. Well, as I keep saying, 2024, abortion will be on the ballot and transgender will be on the ballot. And it doesn't look good for the Republican Party. So
no, not if they keep talking about throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Amen to that. Yep.
What a good use of that saying.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what we're looking at, So you're a bad guy if you oppose anything to do with anybody's sex or gender.
That's right.
You're a racist, man. So
yeah,
I don't know. So, but anyway, we're going to keep talking about it no matter what. So
Yeah, we're old enough to do that.
yes, we are. We're going to do that every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 o'clock Mountain Time. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the notification bell, like us, leave a comment. Let us know the kinds of information you'd like to have. And don't forget, we are on the radio this coming Saturday, 8 to 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So just accordingly, go to kmmsam.com. And all you got to do is click listen now. And there's no sign up, nothing to join. We don't care who you are, where you are. We just care that you listen. So, all right, Shane, that's going to wrap it up for us, I believe. So we'll see everyone on our next podcast, which will be next Tuesday, and we will talk to you on the radio on Saturday. Thanks for watching.